How's it going? I didn't know this subject would cause a lot of interest, and I decided to do one other live of the other opportunities to put counter melodies on Brazilian music. And I'm surprised, but when I've learned about counter melodies, the same happened to me. I started to pay attention, my ears were impressed by this simple element that can be that's very well used in Brazilian music. So I'm gonna show some situations in Brazilian music that you're gonna have counter melodies, and the first of them, it's the repeated notes, melodies with repeated notes. This is very common in Brazilian music because our music is sounds very rhythmic. So repeated notes often happens to give swing, creating a swing on the melody, and this is a to create this counter. So let me show this the first example that happens on the song Samba do Avião. So you're gonna have so you have this part, and so at the same time the harmony is a little different. Oh, Rio de Janeiro, Rio de Janeiro, Rio de Janeiro, Rio de Janeiro. So at the same time you can put and when I am playing solo, I give priority to the execution of the counter melody. But if you hear the recording, you're gonna hear some voices doing Rio de Janeiro, Rio de Janeiro, Rio de Janeiro, and other voice doing Copacabana, Copacabana. So this is our first example of doing a counter melody to repeated notes. This happens in the song Samba do Avião by Antônio Carlos Jobim also. And there are some talking about repeated notes, I remind also the Samba de uma nota só, or one note samba. And so it's changing the chords in chromatic motion, and at the same time in this last chord Jobim gives a little change between A flat major and 7. Take advantage of this situation and put more and create more. I have thought about this now. Creating a lot of So I'm taking advantage of the repeated notes and also about the chord. the type of chord that can have some possibilities without changing its main structure. I'm gonna talk a little more about this in a few moments. I just remind also an example by Edu Lobo. Edu Lobo, it's a very interesting composer that mixtures the bossa nova, the chords and the arrangements of bossa nova with the northeast styles. And he has a song that is a kind of baião called Ponteio. So this melody is made just by one note. We have two chords, E minor 7 and F major. So we can explore the different possibilities of the of this E minor 7. It can be the melodies on the 9th. So we can, for example, play E minor major 7, major E minor 7, E minor 6, E minor flat 6, so and in the case of the second chord, it's an F major 7. We can explore, for example, the motion on the 5th or going to the 6th. So this can be a very interesting resource. For example, in making the continuation, this song is made often by repeat notes. Let me play the original. I forgot I changed something. Case we have we have a few time. I'm searching for another opportunities because of the repeated notes, but the main here will be this motion between the different 7ths or 6ths of the minor chord. And in this chord you're gonna have also the opportunity to the melodies on the major 7. So you can change using the perfect 5th or the augmented 5th. So these are basic opportunities you have using these chords. All right. Another song that has lots of these opportunities is the song Fotografia, because it's played. You stop. You don't have the repeated notes, but you have a very simple. The melody is insisting in some notes, so that the notes is repeating on D. So in this first chord, for example, it's a C major 7. I can play with the augmented fifth. And so I've played this chord of F sus, and in bossa nova it's very common not to resolve just the sus going to the major chord, but going to make this the fourth note going to the augmented fourth. This is common in the language of bossa nova, so we can take advantage of this repeated melody that it's very similar a melody with repeated notes, and explore these changes. Or at the starting by the sus chord, and I play the sus flat 9, or could be a 7th flat 9, but I think it's more obvious. It's this sus flat 9. So you can explore the different, for example, in major chords you can explore the fifth going to the sharp 11th also, it's another possibility. And sometimes even we can just change the quality of the chord and make the chord walk to the harmony, the harmony of the song. This is an advantage when you are playing. You are just playing you are the only that's playing the harmonic instrument in your gig, or sometimes when another person is improvising, it's dangerous because you can mixture some different scales that the musician is playing with your chords. But when you know the melody, the person it's just playing the melody of the theme. You can take a lot of advantage of this and do very interesting harmonies, change in this quality, this notes of the chord, these tensions, these movements, or you can change even the quality of the chord, like Jobim did on Samba de uma nota só. What else can we talk? So to just give a little review, let's just remind that in major chords I can make movements of the fifth going to the augmented fourth, or the opposite. You find a major chord and you start playing this and goes to the fifth. You can also use the fifth going to the augmented fifth and sixth, or just the fifth and sixth, right, without this more with this note with more tension. You can make the seventh go to the sixth. There are a lot of possibilities. If the melody is not moving besides around these notes that you are changing, it's gonna sound often good. What else more? There is a very interesting situation that I've seen in an arrangement of the song Eu Sei Que Vou Te Amar. This is not arrangement by Tom Jobim, but I have seen it starts with a major 7th chord. This is very interesting because it repeats notes. Let's see some opportunities of it or so. But besides just playing the major chord, the melodies on the major 7th, I saw in this arrangement the harmony starting with the diminished chord. It's creating tension. Now I've tried to put them motion between the major 7th and the 7th, but the melody is on 7th, so it doesn't sound good. So let's start again. This is very typical. It's a very typical movement that Jobim used in his songs when he does movements of fifths. So this is just movements between tensions of the chords. And what they are, I'm in E7, so then I use the 13th and flat 13th. I'm going to A7, 9 and flat 9. I'm going to, so we can connect these chords with this 7, 13, flat 13, G7, 9, flat 9, and and you can never stop doing this connection between the tension of the chord. So in this part of the song, so dissonant. This is very interesting. This is a progression that I've learned with the pianist Cristóvão Bastos. He used it in an arrangement that he in album that he recorded with the singer Gal Costa. He harmonized this 2/5 of half diminished 7 and diminished chord. This is gonna sound like that. Let me show you. Sorry. And so besides you use this, he started to use this chord because of the repeated notes. And so it goes. So besides the progression, the common progression of E half diminished A7, he used E flat with B flat on bass, and he went to A7 flat 9. This is a very beautiful progression with a counter melody that sounds very beautiful also. This can substitute an half diminished chord, but sounds a major chord. I'm trying to do some new progressions to the new uses of this progression. What else more we could talk about? Diminished chord with major 7, creating some counter melody to resolve on C major 7. Alright. I was talking about the different chords and the opportunities. Let's talk a little about minor chords. In minor 7 chords, you can use movements between the major 7, 7th and 6th. Just depends on the melodies. If the melody is working on this area of 7th, you're gonna have problems. But if you are in I'm using just the 5 first notes of the scale, and you can change 7ths, and you won't have problem. There is a melody of João Bosco that he used. This is the melody of Jade, the Jade. this opportunity here. We can connect these two chords, minor chords, with the root going to the major 7, 7, 6, and other with the root G minor 7. So that is a very interesting opportunity to connect then. Sometimes I put them on the bass. G major 7, C major 7, B7 is 13, electro B, so you can connect this fifth using this movement of 13th, flat 13th, when you change the chord the 9th and the flat 9th. So these are very common counter melodies that are used because of the chord. All right, the melody can be happening in another part, but this is a motion that the chord and its quality has by itself. I think that's it. I want to know if this was also interesting for you, if you want more details of this subject. If not, we continue talking about different subjects in Brazilian music and search for for helping you in another situations in Brazilian music, alright? So I hope I have helped you, and very happy to receive your questions, and it will be a pleasure to continue doing this. Alright, if you like this video, press the like button, and if you want to know more about any subject that I could help you in Brazilian music, just send me messages. I'm gonna have pleasure to help you in this journey. Alright, so obrigado e tchau tchau. Fala, Rogerinho.